Yo, yo, what is going on, my fellow wrestling fans? Welcome to a brand new week and welcome to a brand new edition of what we like to call the Clash of Champions, where we dive headfirst into all the controversies, personalities, storylines, and everything in between that center around this world we know and love as professional wrestling. For better or worse, I'm your host, the vegan you believe in, Conscious Kurt, aka the Professor, in the flesh as always, and my co-host needs no introduction, but the hell with it, he's about to give y'all one anyway.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is his tag team partner, Jonathan Randall, the inventor himself, at your guys' service. And welcome to our soap opera that we like to call professional wrestling. We're still on the road to WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen, and it is heating up. Kurt, how have you been, man?
I've been good. I had a pretty good birthday weekend. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I hung out with my two best friends for my birthday for the first time since 2008. So that was great. We went to brunch. We had drinks. Yeah, we had a good time.
That's what's up, man. I saw that you were celebrating your birthday. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did. It's one of the better birthdays I've had in a while. The only downside for it was like on Monday, I was like leaving a friend's house who I was babysitting their cat for. I had to carry this like heavy ass bag around like the whole day. But other than that, it was a good birthday.
Oh, for real? Dang.
Yeah, because I was leaving my friend's house and I was going to go to my other friend's house later, but I didn't really have time to drop the bag off. So I had to carry it around with me all day. And yeah, when you don't have a car and have to carry a heavy bag, it's definitely not fun. But
Are you
besides that,
are you looking to get in a car soon, or?
not anytime soon. As long as I'm out here, I don't think I'm going to need a car like that. But
Oh,
with that aside, yeah, I ate really good. I drank really good. Yeah, I had a good time. And especially
good.
the end of my birthday night, I got to watch Raw.
Oh yeah, and yeah, Raw was words cannot describe how Raw was this past Monday.
Oh, yes. And it opened once again for the third week in a row with Cody Rhodes and John Cena. But unlike their last two segments, these two actually let the gloves off and let each other have it.
Yeah, that's right. The past 2 weeks, ever since or 3 weeks or so, that ever since John Cena turned heel, we really haven't. I mean, it's kind of like we saw like the same segments from John Cena. We didn't really see that real John Cena where he's attacking his opponents on the mic, burying them. And you know what? We actually saw that finally.
Yeah, like Cody basically dared him, like, yo, cook me, give me your best shot. And
Right.
then Cena was like, yo, I'm not going to cook you, I'm going to bury you. And people think that I bury talent. I don't bury talent. I am talent. What I bury is mediocrity.
Yeah, but even though it didn't matter how many times, John Cena went, you know, try to bury Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was on the ropes, but he kept fighting back in this segment. And I loved how he mentioned about how, like, you know what? The people chose me, unlike somebody who was once in office who we don't talk about chose you. And we knew who he was talking about.
Yeah, he went into that. He went into how like Cena created a bunch of disenfranchised fans who made it easy for people like him to leave and then come back. And yeah, he told him straight up, like, John, you're still my hero, but you're still a piece of shit.
Right. But what you thought about that one part when Cody Rhodes mentioned Vince McMahon about how, like, look, the people chose me. Unlike somebody who picked you, who was once in charge. I mean, what do you thought? I was cooking. It was funny because I was making dinner. When I was hearing the whole thing, and then when I heard that, my jaw just dropped. I was like, oh wow,
Yeah, and it's so
wow,
funny. It's so funny. Even before he dropped that line, Cena was even getting cheers for some of the things he was saying to Cody. Like when he said, like, you tried to be undeniable by trying to, like, take all of my secrets, but then you ended up being underwhelming. And then he referenced like his neck tattoo and said, like, you're just like the fans by getting that little tattoo to just show who you are. That's what you just represented. He mentioned that when I beat you at WrestleMania, you're just going to be like all those fans, and you're going to be forced to have buy a toy belt from the WWEshop.com. Yeah, he was letting Cody have it with a lot of those lines. He was, spitting at him about like him being a copycat, about him being like a second fiddle to what he did and not even being able to do it as good. But then
Mm,
when Cody hit him with that line about how the fans chose me, but somebody in the office chose you who's not even here anymore,
yeah.
that was the turning tide. Because
Oh, that was a big one.
yeah, he was starting to get some boos, but then once he said that line, he got the crowd back instantly.
Yeah, and you know what? And it's funny about this segment, man. This is the one thing that I've noticed. Like when we were watching John Cena, in the past in these segments when he's feuding with somebody, usually Cena he's always gets the upper hand. He gets the last say, and his opponent really doesn't have much to say. But with this one, man, like Cody was literally just punching back and coming back no matter what. I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, I would say other than CM Punk like a decade ago, this is the
Yeah,
best anyone has hung with Cena on the mic.
yeah. Like, I'm telling you, man, when he hit them with the Vince McMahon thing, that was like, whoa, but it was true though.
Yeah, and then when he referenced like between you and I, who was the one who actually sold out to The Rock? Finally, a damn Rock reference for the first time in a month.
Finally. That's right. Finally, because we have not heard anything about The Rock ever since John Cena turned heel, pretty much ever since Elimination Chamber, which has been what, a month now. So
Yeah.
finally we get that reference for, about The Rock and him, selling out. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if they capitalize on it in the next few weeks. But then after Cody smoked Cena, Cena said in response, like, I make empires for billionaires and you just steal money from their children. Oh, shit.
Wow.
And then he talked about how, like, he takes any garbage they give him and made it great and how he's not irreplaceable and all this other jazz. And Cody's not on his level. And then when he tried to leave, Cody said, unlike you, they never chanted at me. You can't wrestle.
Yeah. That was another low blow right there, which is true. And it's funny because again I'm making dinner with my girlfriend as I'm hearing this segment, and my girlfriend is really not a like a huge wrestling fan as I am, and then she kind of like was confused about it, thought like, oh, like what Cody said didn't make any sense, but I told her, I was like, babe, you don't understand. It's okay, you don't understand. And what Cody said was very true, to our viewers, because throughout the history, man, John Cena has been criticized for not being a quote unquote good wrestler, for just pretty much just having what, five basic moves. Pretty much, he's not like your standard technical wrestler like we see back in the day.
Yeah, he got a lot of hate for that. And also the fact that he just felt, fake, phony, and forced. And it kind of felt like he was like a corporate puppet. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm happy that Cody called him out on all those things. And
Yeah,
then when Cody mentioned that one line about how he can't wrestle, Cena came into the ring like, teasing a confrontation, but then he acted like he was going to walk away.
yeah.
Then he tries to hit Cody with a sucker punch, but then Cody catches him and lays his ass out with the crossroads.
Finally, we get that um, some conflict, physical conflict between each other. For Cody Rhodes, he finally gets a little bit of payback on him after what happened to him at Elimination Chamber. But seeing this was good. This is what we need to see for this feud.
Yeah, this is exactly what this feud needed. After how stale the last 2 weeks were, this
Yeah,
is the shot in the arm that this feud needed to really feel like the
agreed.
WrestleMania main event again. So yeah,
Agreed.
now we're cooking. I don't know if Cena's going to make another appearance between now and WrestleMania because that was his last advertised appearance, but hopefully he can so that he can build up on this a little more. But if
Yeah.
that's the last segment we get between the two of them between now and WrestleMania, I can't really be mad at that.
True. True. I kind of want to see another one, maybe, just maybe though. But I'm satisfied with what I saw.
Yeah, it was a great segment. They both laid into each other. And yeah, props to Cody for rebounding from the fans cheering for Cena throughout parts of the promo and booing him. And he just got them right back instantly. That's how you know that he is legit, no matter what the haters say.
Oh hell yeah! And then, look, man. Think about all the people that Xena has went on. toe to toe on the mic, big names, where Cena pretty much got the upper hand. You know what I mean? And you would think the same thing will happen in this situation, though, but no. Not only did Cody Rhodes, pretty much got the last say, but he got the last say physically. He landed a crossroads on him at the end of the segment. That's something that we rarely see.
Yeah, and he needed to after how badly Cena beat him down at Elimination Chamber. He needed to do that to him.
Yeah,
And if The Rock shows up, he needs to lay his ass out with 1-2.
yeah,
And then if Travis Scott shows his face again, he also needs to get his ass.
yeah. Cody Rhodes in an interview not too long ago mentioned how, like, if he does see him again, he's gonna get his receipt. So I'm not surprised. So
Word up.
yeah.
Yeah, but that was not the only highlight of Raw this past Monday, as we had a
Nope.
match between Gunther and Jey Uso. I'm sorry, no, let me rephrase that. That wasn't the only highlight of Raw, actually, because we had a match, non-title match, that is, between the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther and Jimmy Uso.
Mhm.
And this win is about the way we expected it to, but honestly, it
It
didn't
really
just
wasn't the
go.
talk. The match really wasn't really the talk. It was what happened that was like the talk of the town.
Yeah, basically, the match obviously went the way we thought it would. No surprise, Gunther won, but the way he won in certain ways was a little bit surprising. How he like power bombed Jimmy, but then he picked him up as he was about to pin him. Then he hit him with a clothesline, and he was going to pin him,
Yeah,
and then he picked him up again.
very
And then
unlike.
yeah, and then eventually he put him in the sleeper, and the referee stopped the match. But yes, the real violence and the real brutality of this segment came after the match, as what happened after the match was more vicious and cruel than anything I would have expected to happen from this whole scenario.
Yeah, and it's funny. Just like with the shot in the arm that Cody and John Cena needed, I think this situation right here was like the shot in the arm that this feud between Jey Uso and Gunther needed.
Yep, because Jay Uso came out to save his brother Jimmy as Gunther continued to the attack after the match, and then Gunther ran into the crowd. And as Jay was like helping Jimmy to the back, Gunther reappeared again and knocked them both down. And then he tied Jay into the ropes,
It
and
was
then he proceeded to beat the hell out of Jimmy some more with a power bomb. He threw him into the guardrail, and then he nailed him with the championship belt. And this actually caused Jimmy Uso to bleed. And as he was bleeding, Gunther did not stop. He did not hold back. He hit him with another power bomb, then trapped him in the sleeper as he was bleeding profusely. And all Jay could do was just stand there as
literally,
his brother got his ass beat.
and it's very oh my god, like to describe that is very violent and horrifying, should I say? Because as this is going on, Jey Uso, remember it wasn't handcuffs though. It was like a zip, like a little zip tie or whatever that he
Yeah.
had attached to the rope. But regardless, though, Jey Uso's trying to reach out and try to grab hold of Gunther, and Jimmy just trying to just break free of this, of him, being trapped, man. And this is very similar to you go back to 2009 between Triple H and Randy Orton, where Triple H was handcuffed to the rope, and then Randy Orton attacks Stephanie McMahon, and insult to injury, she even kisses him. He kisses her. I'm sorry, but it's very similar to that. And this situation, man, it was very horrifying. And you look at the photos where Gunther's holding up Jimmy Uso's face and he's bleeding, showing off to Jey Uso like that. It's horrifying. It's violent. It was surprising. I wasn't expecting this, but like I said, this whole situation, what just happened, this is the shot in the arm that feud needed. Because don't get me wrong, the feud has been okay. It was been good, doing good though, but it kind of got a little stale a little bit. But this is the one that the shot in the arm that it really needed to enlighten this feud more.
Yeah, and Gunther was just taunting Jay the whole time. He was even calling him a pussy, if you could hear
Oh,
the audio during parts of it.
ooh,
And like he wiped the blood on his chest, circa Brock
yeah.
Lesnar 2003. Yeah, this is as vicious, cruel, and heartless as I've ever seen Gunther. Like this segment like really made me despise him, honestly.
Well, that's good. That's heel heat. That's what you got to do.
Exactly.
That's what you got to do. You know what I mean? That's the name of the game. And also, just in general, damn. The past, like, I don't know, few years on Raw, mainly, I haven't seen anything this violent like this before. Maybe my memory's not that good, but I haven't recall seeing anything violent like this on Raw.
I guess the closest thing I can think of was when The Rock attacked Cody last year, like outside the
Oh
All-Star Arena.
yeah, true, that one too, yeah. But man, this wasn't. I did not expect to tune on to Netflix that Monday and then see freaking Jimmy Uso just beaten to a bloody pulp, as the good old Jr. used to say. But man, it was violent. It was horrific, nonetheless. But man, I'm kind of curious what's going to happen next week, man, because it's now I'm really looking forward to this match now more than ever.
Yeah. Yeah, this is exactly what this feud needed. And honestly, this is by far the best angle they've done for this feud ever since it started.
Yeah, I agree. Don't get me wrong. Between the segments that they had between each other early on during the feud was good, but this one right here, whoa, this one takes the cake.
Yeah, and Jey Uso next week needs to come out angry, heated, fired up. No walking through the audience, no more yeeting up and
Yeah,
down.
no
None of that.
more of
He
that.
needs to be
You need to be
He needs to be
serious.
focused. He needs to be focused. He needs to be ready to throw down when he sees Gunther next.
Yeah,
Because, yes, WrestleMania is right around the corner. We got 2 weeks. And after he beat his brother down the way he did, no
yeah.
more games need to be played.
No more of that crap. Jey Uso for like past like few weeks has been getting a lot of criticism on media, a lot lately, and yeah, like you said, Kurt, he needs to come out swinging, moving forward. So
Oh, big time.
yeah,
And I think a big reason why this segment was such a success and why it played out so well is because they were probably motivated by the fact that they found out last Friday officially that they will not be main eventing either night of
well, it's
WrestleMania.
not a surprise. I mean, and look, some people have been complaining about it, and some people have been asking my opinion on it. And guys, like, this is not the first time this has happened. We have seen Royal Rumble winners in the past that did not main event at WrestleMania. We've seen it. Big names: Rey Mysterio, Undertaker, John Cena. These are people who had won the Royal Rumble but did not. They were not in the main event of WrestleMania, and it happens.
This will be the first time since WrestleMania moved to 2 nights that neither Royal Rumble winner is going to headline either night of WrestleMania.
Right. Right.
Also, first time period since 2018 because Asuka and Nakamura, neither one of them main evented that
Oh
year.
yeah. Yep. That's a good point.
Yeah, but this is a great segment. It is exactly what this feud needed to kick into high gear. And now I'm
Mhm.
more excited for this match again because I wasn't feeling it in like the last, I would say, 3 weeks or so. But now I'm actually amped for this match again.
Yeah, because like I said, man, it was getting a little stale. You know what I mean? It was always, like Jey Uso had a match and then Gunther will attack him from behind and beat him up, and we were seeing that for the past couple of weeks. And it was it's kind of getting a little stale and boring. You know what I mean? Like, come on, give us something a little bit better, new, and this is what we needed.
Exactly. Yeah, they definitely delivered in this segment, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in the next 2 weeks until WrestleMania. And also
Mhm.
in the event of Raw, we had Io Sky and Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship in a rematch from their match last month with Bianca Belair as the guest referee, and I kid you not, the best looking referee attire I have ever seen in my life.
Oh God.
Do you disagree?
I've seen other like we haven't seen other females in referee attires.
Well, the only person I can think who comes closest is probably Trish.
Yeah, long
If
time
you
ago.
remember which time I'm talking about, but that's another story. So we have the match. At one point, Rhea accidentally kicks Bianca and she falls out
Mhm.
of the ring, and then Rhea's about to finish off Io with the riptide. She has her pinned down, but
Bianca's still out.
Bianca's down outside. She can't make the count. And then later in the match, Rhea's pounding on Io, and then Bianca's trying to stop her, but Rhea's ignoring her. So Bianca pulls a Ken Shamrock from WrestleMania 13 and physically pulls Rhea off of Io, and this pisses off Rhea to the point where she hits Bianca, and then she ducks out of the way as Io Sky accidentally hits Bianca with a drop kick from the top rope, and Bianca at this point had enough, called for the bell, and the match ends on a double disqualification.
Ugh, and EO Sky is still the women's world champion, which is not a surprise. I mean, I knew that something was going to happen where she was going to retain her title, but it's the chaos that happened within the match is the real talk. Um, After this, Rhea Ripley loses it, attacks both EO Sky and Bianca Belair, and both are laid out with Rhea Ripley holding EO Sky's championship belt as the show goes off the air. Crazy.
Yeah, she hit them both with riptides, including Bianca with a riptide from the top rope. And yeah, she's now going to have a case for being added into the match at WrestleMania because, the match ended on a disqualification.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Io's probably going to demand to go against both of them like she was doing last week. So we
Mm,
all know where this was eventually heading to. We knew
yeah.
that this match wasn't going to have a definite winner. So it accomplished what it needed to.
At the end of the day, though, I mean, I like the feud, and and it's getting the storyline is better than no offense to Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, but this one has more juice in this storyline. So it's not a surprise that it's going to be all three women are going to be involved in this match. Again, EL Sky's being disrespected completely. It's not even funny, man. It's not even funny how much disrespect she's getting from Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, but all I'm gonna say is, regardless of what people think about the build and all that going into this match, the match is gonna be incredible once it finally happens.
Oh yeah.
With these three women, yo, it's gonna be a wrap.
And
And
I already saw what the rumor plans are, and I kind of knew this was going to happen, but it's most likely that this match will be on night two.
yeah, makes sense. Honestly, this storyline not only has more juice than Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte, the Naomi and Jade Cargill storyline has more juice than
Oh,
Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte.
that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Naomi had a great vignette that aired on Friday on SmackDown talking about proceed with caution. She was even crying during most of it. And yeah, I'm
Hmm.
liking this new look and new phase for Naomi. It's working. So yeah, that match is probably going to be made official. And also on Raw last Monday, we did get another match made official for WrestleMania. It's going to be AJ Styles against the douchebag fuck Logan Paul.
Not surprised. Not surprised. Logan Paul looks like he has a new finisher in
Yeah,
his
the
upper paw.
Pulverizer, it's called.
Yeah, they look dope. Admit it looked nice, Kurt.
Yeah, it's a great move. I've seen him do it before. It is a great move.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a great segment on Raw Monday where Logan Paul was trying to apologize, to say that he forgave AJ for what he did to him a few weeks ago, and then AJ said, "I forgive you for being the biggest douchebag who's ever stepped into a WWE ring."
Literally just took your vocabulary.
Basically, I guess AJ Styles. I guess AJ Styles listens to this show. Shout out to AJ Styles.
Probably.
All right, but anyway, yeah, so that match is official for WrestleMania. We're more than likely getting the War Raiders against the New Day for the tag team titles, especially after what we saw on Raw Monday where they had that face off. And the Penta,
Oh,
Finn Balor, Bron Breaker, and Dominik Mysterio
yeah.
four-way is definitely happening after
Yeah,
what we saw on Raw
especially
Monday.
especially after the match because Finn Balor got the pinfall and he felt like, look, I'm on a hot streak right now towards WrestleMania more than ever. So I'm gonna go to Adam Pearce and I'm gonna, ask for a title shot. And then Liv Morgan was like, wait a minute now, wait. He's just talking about himself. What about you, Dom? What about you? You did your part. Well, you know what? I'm going to talk to Adam Pearce and see if you could get a title shot too. So, we all know this is going to happen. Next week. They're going to make their demands and everything. And yeah, it's going to be a fatal four way for the IC title. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, and that damn Liv Morgan's such a damn troublemaker.
Well, I mean, Liv Morgan does have a case now. I mean, come on now. Finn Balor is not the only one that deserves a title shot now. I mean, come on.
She's just doing this for attention, and you know it.
Still though, she has a point. Come on. Acting like
That girl
Finn
needs.
Balor. Acting like Finn Balor did everything on his own. No, Dom had a play in it too. Now, come on. And he was even trying to recruit La Penta to Judgment Day. So come on.
Yeah, that girl needs counseling. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that I know that this truce between Finn Balor and Dominik wasn't gonna last, and looks like Liv Morgan's gonna be the reason why. And next week we're gonna see the fireworks and it's going to be even more explosive once we get to WrestleMania. But I like this feud. I like this whole story they have with the four of these guys, especially the tension between Penta and Bron Breakker after Breakker accidentally speared him.
Yeah.
And funny enough, that was Penta's first pinfall loss since he's been in WWE.
Oh, you're right.
And it came out last week from a vignette that Penta's brother Rey Fenix is going to be making his debut on SmackDown this Friday.
Yeah. Not a surprise that that he's coming to the WWE after the news that we heard. And there was another news that we heard recently that not surprised us all. It's really funny how last week we were talking about Rusev in our last week's episode when we were reviewing WrestleMania 31. And a couple days yesterday, actually, it's been revealed that he has re-signed with WWE. Rusev is coming back.
Yes, that came out yesterday. We'll see when he ends up showing up. Maybe he'll be a guest referee for the Cena and Cody match. We can get his revenge for 10 years ago.
It's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good that they're keeping Rey Fenix and Penta apart. They can forge their own path because Penta's doing fine on his own, being a singles. I'm sure Rey Fenix is going to kill it too. So yeah, let them be separate for a while and let them do their own thing.
Yeah.
So also on SmackDown Friday, we had the main event segment, the contract signing between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins for their triple threat match. And CM Punk was looking through the contract, and Heyman told him, like, what you're looking for, it's in there. And this match will be the main event of night one. And he told CM Punk, congratulations, you are officially a WrestleMania main eventer.
Before all that happened, before CM Punk showed up, I loved the little back and forth segment between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at first, because remember, they were in London and Seth pretty much reminded Roman about, hey, the last time we were here, we came down in a helicopter and, we were doing business. We took the Undertaker out and, we were supposed to, making names for each other. And Roman cut him off like, who's this we? We ended a long time ago, referring to that betrayal back in 2014. Yep. We ended a long time ago. What is this we stuff? I did all of this pretty much. You know what I mean? And I loved how, even though CM Punk is involved with this triple threat, I loved how there's still that tension between Roman and Seth, which I was hoping that would be one-on-one, but I still love how there's that animosity between each other after all these years.
Yeah, Roman was like, yo, I'm the one who made this company more profitable than ever. I'm the one who made this company attractive to Netflix. That was me. That wasn't your goofy outfit wearing ass.
Hey, look, let's not kid ourselves. That suit that Seth was rocking was fire, though.
Yeah, I guess for him it was.
No, that suit was fire. Now, come on, I like that suit. I will rock that.
But wasn't fire. But what was not fire was Seth Rollins' reaction to the news of it being the main event.
I mean, can you blame him? I mean, it's not a surprise.
Yes, bro. Yes, I can blame him. The dude is acting like a child.
I know, but you shouldn't be surprised, though.
Nah, he's getting the main event too. He's getting the main event too, and he's gonna throw a little fit over it.
It's hatred for CM Punk.
That hatred shit is not healthy. Him and Liv Morgan both need to go to the same counselor because their behavior is very disturbing.
Oh, God. I think Seth is worse, though.
A little bit. But, yeah, he was like, jumping up and down. He was like jumping up and down like a kid whose mom told him he couldn't go to McDonald's. Yeah, this dude was like having the meltdown to end all meltdowns. And then Roman's just sitting there saying like, yo, you're welcome. You're in the main event of WrestleMania because of me. And this is going to mark Roman Reigns' 10th WrestleMania main event.
So if you're looking carefully, Roman Reigns wanted CM Punk to thank him. And if you look carefully at the footage, Paul Heyman's right beside him behind Roman. And you could see ad-lib that Paul Heyman's telling Punk, like, don't. Ooh, Kurt, something's up. Something's up, Kurt.
And then Punk gets on his like knees and says, thank you, my tribal chief. I get to be in the main event because of you. Thank you for all you've done for this company. But that's not the favor that I'm owed. And then the show ends.
Let's not forget, he called him, now he didn't just call him his tribal chief. He even called him the big dog, and that kind of upset Roman a little bit.
Yeah, I don't ever want to remember that era of Roman Reigns ever
Hey,
again.
we had to remember that when we were rewatching WrestleMania 31.
But especially,
Oh God.
uh, especially that feud with Baron Corbin with the dog mascot and the dog food, that bullshit. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to forget the most.
Yeah.
Fuck Vince
2019.
McMahon,
Oh God.
but anyway, yes, and we all knew that this was gonna be the main event of night one, like when this whole feud started. No offense to Gunther and Jey Uso, I know it's a title match, but it's just not a bigger match than this.
It's the feud, it's the storyline, and also more importantly, the star power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it remains to be seen what that favor is that Heyman
It's a
owes
title
Punk.
shot. As I've been saying, as I've been trying to tell everybody on social media, but everybody's like, "How does Paul Heyman have the power to do that?" Trust me, he has something up his sleeve to make it happen. We just don't know. I'm telling you, it is a title shot, and it's funny how was it yesterday on social media? There was a segment during the summer of 2013, ladies and gentlemen, between CM Punk and Paul Heyman, when CM Punk kind of wanted to separate himself from Paul Heyman. And in that segment, Paul Heyman, like, look, I know you want your space, but look, my dream is to walk with you in a WWE championship match. My dream is to walk with you in a championship match at WrestleMania. This is in 2013, ladies and gentlemen. I am a firm believer of not just in wrestling, but in also in entertainment. I'm a full believer of foreshadowing. This is clear foreshadowing right here. We all know what the favor is. I've been seeing this since day one. I mean, come on. What has Punk been talking about for the past, few months, even during his feud with Drew McIntyre, about how he wants to be champion and he wants to be in the main event at WrestleMania. So this main event, okay, cool, I'm in the main event, but that's not all what I want. Come on now. We all know what he's talking about.
Well, it could be possible that the favor could be the winner of this match gets to be in the main event of night two and get added to the Cody and Cena
Yes,
match,
yes,
or
yes.
maybe it's for like a title match at SummerSlam or somewhere else down the line.
Uh,
But
no.
we'll see how this plays out. We still got 2 weeks until WrestleMania. Maybe we won't even find out what the favor is until WrestleMania night,
Oh,
but only time will tell.
hmm.
All right, but also it was announced last Friday that the first ever match will be going into the WWE Hall of Fame this year.
Yes.
And that special match that'll be going in this year is Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin's submission match from WrestleMania 13.
Yeah. Congratulations to them. And also congratulations to the WWE, making that kind of decision because, for a while, a lot of fans been talking about how, like, you know what, they need to start implementing matches into the Hall of Fame. And I was like, I agree. I full hand agree with that, and they've been listening to us, and finally they made it happen. And this is the perfect match, the first match to do it. I love it. I love this idea. Moving forward, I think for next year, for the 30th anniversary, I think they need to induct the Iron Man match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 12 for next year.
They could, but there's better matches that they can induct beyond that one. But that's another story. I'm just really happy that this match is going in. It definitely deserves it, not just because of how great the match was, but because of the historical significance it had. Like the boom of the Attitude Era, a big part of it could be credited to this match and the outcome of it.
True.
And I hope they have Ken Shamrock involved in the ceremony too. I hope he either like makes the speech like before they come out, Bret and Austin, or like he's a part of it too in some way. Yeah, he definitely deserves
They're
to be.
so they're filled up. They're filled up pretty much with their whole Hall of Fame. So no more inductees, no more.
Nah, but at least he can like make the speech for them before they come out. That's what I'm saying that he could
Oh,
possibly
I
do.
know because we were talking about how there was a rumor that Ken Shamrock or maybe rumored to be inducted though, but didn't happen. But
Yeah, definitely a deserving match to go into the Hall of Fame. I'm happy that it's going to be the first one. And yeah, we'll probably see Undertaker and Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 25 go in at some point, or Hogan and Andre, or Hogan and Rock. But I don't think they're going to be touching Hogan right now because of how toxic he is, which we'll actually get into in a few minutes with the whole family drama.
Oh God.
Yeah, some messy shit. Yeah, some messy shit. But yeah, congrats to Bret and Austin. So looks like Austin's going to be around for WrestleMania that weekend because he's already signing autographs at the World. He's going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame for this match. Perhaps we'll see a cameo during the main event.
I'm pretty like look, even before they did this whole idea of implementing a match in the Hall of Fame, I already knew that Austin was going to be here for Vegas. So it's not a surprise to me if he does show up at WrestleMania. So yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it. But Hulk Hogan's ex-wife Linda went off on this like really disturbing social media rant last week, like in tears, wilding out, talking about how Hulk Hogan's a sex addict, he ruined the whole family, and how like her daughter doesn't talk to her anymore. Her daughter hasn't talked to her in 7 years, and how she's lonely, depressed. Yeah, she just came off bad shit in this whole video. It was
Nick,
I couldn't.
he was talking about his son Nick still has his head on his shoulders though, still doing
Yeah,
good.
she said Nick's still a sweetheart, and I'll be honest, it's really hard for me to feel bad for her,
Hmm.
especially after that crap she said a few years ago about the George Floyd protesters saying, "Oh, what a surprise, they're all black."
Oh wow, I don't even remember that. Wow.
Yeah, that dumbass shit she said. That's why Tony Khan banned her and also Hogan from ever coming to any AEW shows.
Wow.
Yeah, so after that dumb shit, and also like yeah, just parts of her I've seen over the years, especially on the reality show, it's like yo, I can't really feel sorry for this lady. And seeing what she said, um, Linda's daughter Brooke Hogan, we remember her very well, came out with a 7-page Instagram response, basically talking about how toxic her family is, and they were so bad to the point where she had to distance herself from them, even including like financial benefits that she would receive from them by being involved in the family. And she said she would have normally ignored this, but the fact that she has a family now and she wants to protect them at all costs, like made her want to speak up. And she just said that she loves her parents and she wishes them well, but just for the way they behave and the way they've been abusive to her over the years, she can't really be around them like that. And she has to keep her distance from them. And I have to say, from reading the whole 7-page response, she came off very mature. And just as somebody myself who's like seen a lot of family drama throughout my life and gone through it myself, I can understand why she feels the way she does. And if that's the case, she has every right to distance herself from Hogan, his ex-wife Linda, etc. Yeah, she's well within her rights to.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, family, friend, especially in family, like if they're not benefiting you mentally and emotionally, you have to, have to set boundaries. You got to, cut people off. So
Yeah, and then Linda tried to respond saying that she was never as abusive as Brooke made it out to be, and how Hogan spent all this money on her music career. He spent like millions of dollars on her music career without any problems. Yeah, like it wasn't much of a case. It wasn't much of a case at all. And even Brooke's husband spoke up. Even Brooke's husband like spoke up and said that like they took pictures together once a few years ago because she claimed in the original video that she never met his husband, she never met their kids, all this other BS, and yeah, he called her out on it.
wow,
Yeah, what a mess, bro. And like from looking at all this, I can see exactly why Brooke wants to distance herself from them because they seem messy as hell.
yeah,
Yeah, I think she even divorced Hogan like all those years ago. She divorced him and got with like Nick, the son's like 19-year-old friend.
oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, oh,
So weird, son.
wow,
Yeah, and Brooke was also even getting into how like a lot of the stuff that was going on in the family, like a lot of the abuse she was dealing with and all that, like everybody turned a blind eye to because it would affect their wallets, it would affect their financial standings, and yeah, they just all turned a blind eye to it. But she said, "Nope, I can't do it no more."
Mhm.
Yeah, because I think I heard her talk about this a while ago, how like she didn't go to Hogan's most recent wedding, and she just said she had to keep her distance from that part of the family. And yeah,
That
seeing that, not to mention the racist rant Hogan went on all those years ago, that was probably
yeah,
another thing
you
that
have
made her probably
to.
want to distance herself. So yeah,
Yeah.
seeing the way Hogan's operated over the years, and to a degree his ex-wife also, yeah, it makes perfect sense that Brooke wouldn't want to be around that shit, especially considering that she has her own family.
Exactly. And especially you don't want to get your own family around that. You know what I mean? So yeah, you just got to protect yourself at all times.
Yeah, definitely. And shout out to her. She seems mature. She seems like she has her head on straight, and hope she stays on the right path, because she definitely seems more mature and more stable than her damn parents do.
Uh,
All right, but that's another story. But we want to send our best wishes out to Mick Foley, as just the other day it came out that he got into a car accident and suffered a mini concussion from the car accident.
oh no. And he's according to my friend who lives here out here in Vegas, according to him, he's scheduled to I think he's scheduled to do some autograph signings here in Vegas during WrestleMania week, I believe.
Makes sense. I met him at Comic Con 6 months ago, and I just watched his Dark Side of the Ring episode last week, the one about the
On
Hell
the
in a
Hell in a
Cell with
Cell. How
the
was that?
Undertaker. It was good. I mean, it was mostly stuff you already knew, but the one thing that was disturbing, especially after what just came out the other day, is how like he's afraid of how much he's gonna remember 10 years from now. His kids were also talking about that too. So like
Mm.
the way he kind of tries to keep his memory sharp is by doing those stand-up comedy shows that he does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a good episode. Like I said, it was like stuff you already knew, but it was kind of like more or less a documentary about Mick Foley more than anything else. But the Ludwig Borga episode that dropped this week was also very disturbing.
I see.
You remember Ludwig Borga, right? From WWE, like in '93 ish.
Who was he again? 93.
He was from Finland. He was like feuding with Lex Luger around the time Lex Luger was doing the whole Made in the USA character.
Touching there. It's getting there. It sounds familiar. As soon as you said Finland, I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere. I think he does. It does sound a little familiar to me.
I'll show you a picture of him, but yeah, he was in WWE like in that latter part of '93. He was
Yeah.
even the one who ended Tatanka's undefeated streak.
Oh, should have been Rick Martel.
But anyway, the most disturbing thing about this dude is that he had like a Nazi tattoo like on his calf muscle.
Oh God.
Yeah, and also like he ran for like office in Finland after he got deported out of America for getting in trouble.
Really?
He ran for office in Finland and he got elected, and like his views and like the things he would say were very Donald Trump like, to say the
Was this
least.
so? This is after his wrestling career, and he went into politics.
Yeah, he went into politics in Finland, and yeah,
Wow.
he was like very controversial. Like he didn't, hold anything back when he said what he said. Like he would always drop the N word. He would always talk about how like women's places is only in the kitchen, like that kind of bullshit. Yeah, he was very like like the stereotypical Donald Trump supporter, or like kind of Donald Trump in a sense. That's exactly what he was, but like in Finland as opposed to America.
What happened to him now?
Oh, he's dead. He killed himself.
Oh, when did this happen?
2010.
Oh wow.
Yeah, not a very liked person. Yeah, not a very
Oh,
likable
I
person
can
at all.
tell. I mean, all that stuff you're saying. No, I mean, nobody will like
Yeah,
that.
even the people in WWE who worked with him also said he was an asshole,
Oh,
which explains why he didn't last very long.
wow.
Yeah, but it is what it is. If you're that kind of person, if you like spew that kind of hate and that kind of negativity, you can't really say anything when people don't feel sad for you when it comes back at you.
Hmm.
Yeah, so was what it was in that case. And the Swerve Strickland and Booker T issue is getting out of hand.
Jesus, I'm telling you right now, man. It's so it's on the AEW side. I just hate how they want to just what not necessarily nitpick, but they just don't know how to stay in their damn lane, and they're always criticizing certain people from WWE. They're just like, what does that have to do with you? Sir Strickland, look, I get it that you were let go by WWE. I'm sorry, and I get that things didn't work out. Stuff doesn't work out for everybody, no matter what company that you're working for. But to talk about Booker T and everybody else rent free, that's disturbing, man. I don't like that whatsoever.
Yeah, him using the segment where like Vince dropped the N word in front of Cena and Booker T. I felt like that was a weak argument. He could have maybe used a different argument, like the Triple H and Booker T feud. Like
Like I
maybe
said,
that would have held more merit.
like I said, that was stupid because that was a segment, and you can't. It's not like, oh, you're gonna expect him to like, oh, he says that and he lashes out in during a segment, a planned segment. You know what I mean? So, like I said, that was like it was a weak argument. It was stupid. I just don't like how he wants to nitpick and just talk about WWE rent free. You're not working there anymore. You're more successful where you're at right now. So stop talking about the company that laid you off because whatever reason did not work out for you. Get over it.
Yeah, and Booker T even had a response, and he said that he actually met with Swerve in person
Oh
recently.
yeah, yeah.
And he told like Swerve basically that he played himself by going on Vlad TV because DJ Vlad's kind of like notorious for being like a culture vulture and like kind of like getting the people he interviews to like say things to get themselves in trouble. So like a lot of people
Oh
feel like he's like a spy for the feds, things along those lines.
wow.
And Booker T even said like Vlad asked him to be on the show once and he said no because of knowing what Vlad's all about. So
Mm.
yeah, that was basically Booker T's response to Swerve is that yeah, he played himself by going on that show. The one thing that I will say about Booker T that I don't agree with a lot of the time is that he kind of like always takes WWE's side, even in the scenarios where they're wrong.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah, like I've
documented
noticed
over
that a
the
few
years.
times.
It's been documented over the years. That is true. Yeah, I mean, and then a part of me feels that like he just doesn't want to like get in trouble or doesn't want to, you know what I mean? Because yeah, you are working for the company, but he just doesn't want to like step on their toes in a way.
Yeah, because he mentioned that like his experience in WWE was mostly positive. He did great in WWE, and yeah, he's right. He did from the time he came in as a part of the Invasion storyline. He was one of the few people from like the Alliance side that was actually making noise and actually had like a spot in the company like for years after that. Like
Yeah.
he was like a lot of those dudes from the Alliance like faded away and like didn't do much, but he was one of those few people who actually had a stable career in WWE from those years after. Because
Hmm.
mainly I feel like from the vibe I got from him is that he was willing to adapt to the WWE style.
Yeah. And also, like Bruce Pritchard always say, and I love when he says this, he has that it factor.
He does. Yeah, he really
He
does.
has that charisma, man. He has it where you have it, the crowd is gonna attach. They're gonna attach it to you. They're gonna attach to you, man. So that's what he had.
Yeah, but I hope Swerve wins the AEW championship this Sunday from Jon Moxley and ends this whole Death Riders storyline once and for all because it has been one of the worst parts of the show in like the last 6 months.
Look, Death something, Death Riders, Death Stroke, whatever, Death Match. They need to stop that Death Match crap in AEW. I'm serious.
Good luck with that. Good luck with
My
getting them to
God,
stop all that.
I just oh,
Yeah, it's overkill. I get it. Yeah, it is overkill.
like what am I watching?
Yeah, like sometimes it works. Like, in the segment with Gunther and Jimmy Uso on Raw Monday, like in a situation like that, the blood works, the violence works.
Yeah,
But when
that's
you do it in
different.
Yeah, but when you do it in every single last segment and every single last match, it doesn't feel special anymore. It doesn't stand out.
And not only that, it's just a certain like moves that you do in the match. Like, bro, you put a whole spike, like baseball bat, like literally down in your spine. You know how deep that laceration was?
I don't even
Stuff
want to
like
know.
that. It was very deep, Kerr. Sorry if I'm being too graphic for you, but
It's
it
cool,
was
but
really it was in that deep, dude. Like it's not that serious. It's stuff
yeah,
like that where it's like, like seriously.
yeah. And the more you watch these John Moxley matches, the more you start to think that maybe Brock Lesnar had a point in not wanting to go along with some of his ideas in that WrestleMania 32
Oh,
match. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but I like Booker T and Swerve Strickland also. I think they both have I would say valid arguments to a degree, but admittedly so, like Swerve Strickland's case for only being fired because he was black, that's not a argument I
no.
think that has a lot of merit.
How many employees in WWE over the years have we seen let go?
A lot.
Right. And what race were they, Kurt?
They were all different races.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I will say the black male wrestlers in NXT are doing a lot better than the black male wrestlers on the main
That
roster
is
right now.
that is
I will
very
admit that.
true and very well documented. Has been very well documented over the past several years. They'll do so well on the NXT roster, but as soon as they jump ship to the main roster, it goes completely downhill.
Yeah, but Swerve. But the one thing I will say that Swerve does have a point. There is like a lack of like main event level black male superstars on the main roster in WWE right
He
now.
does have a point.
Compared to NXT and also compared to AEW, yeah, there is a lack of it. The women are doing well, like Bianca, Jade, Naomi, etc. But as far as the men go, there is a void of that. That is true.
That is very true, and I hate to see it. And these are people, Kurt, who are doing very well on the NXT roster. These are black male superstars that were former NXT World Champions. Carmelo Hayes. Let's see. Oh, he's not even with us no more. You know who I'm talking. Oh fuck.
Carmelo Hayes did well. Yeah. Big E was the NXT champion, but that was like a long time
I
ago.
know, but just somebody else. I forgot. Keith Lee. Sorry. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Keith Lee. But yeah, Keith Lee's been out for years. He's
Yes.
had like a lot of health problems. So
Yeah, I know, but like you saw what happened when he went to the main roster. It was just like, whoa, this is not the same vibe.
no, I wasn't. But that was like more of a, like a Vince McMahon, like just fucking with the NXT talent in a way to send
Yeah.
a message to Triple H probably. But I mean, as far as right now goes, I'm not going to accuse WWE of being racist or holding down the black wrestlers. But admittedly, it is noticeable that there's not many black male main eventers or like high level top guys in WWE right
And
now.
these are there's a couple of people who I'm seeing on the roster currently. I'm like, okay, I push them a little bit more. You know what I mean? Carmelo Hayes is a prime example. I've always been a fan of him, right?
Yeah,
Like
and
for example, right? We both know that LA Knight is going to headline WrestleMania, correct?
headline WrestleMania, not this year.
He's a U.S. champion, so you have nothing. You don't see him.
He's not going to be in the main event of WrestleMania this year. He's the U.S. champion. He's going to be
I said
one of the.
headline, Kurt.
Yeah, he's not going to be in the main event. That's headline means main event. He's not going to be in the main event this year.
No, not main event. Just be an event. That's what I'm saying. Headline.
Being a part of the show, yeah, he'll be in the show. Of course he will, but he's not going to be in the damn main event.
That's not what I said. I said headline, Kurt. It just when I say headline, my definition of headline is just you're just being in the event. That's all. Not main
You mean
event.
featured? You mean is featured like more what you're trying to say?
Yeah. I said headline. That's
Mm.
my definition of headlining. You're going to be in a match. That's my definition of it.
Yeah, but headline is usually used to say like the main event, like the
No,
marquee.
no, no,
That's not for you.
no. I've whenever I heard people said you're going to headline, you're just going to be in the event. That's all. But anyway, LA Knight's going to be most likely is going to be at WrestleMania. Yes.
Of course. It's
Okay.
probably going to be him, Strowman, and Jacob Fatu, like in a three-way. Maybe they'll add Jacob. Maybe they'll add Solo Sokoa into it, possibly. But I think that's probably where it's heading with that
Yeah, I
title
just
picture.
wish that Carmelo could like fit somewhere in it because he had a great match with Randy Orton a few weeks ago, and when I
Yes, he
saw that,
did.
I was like, okay, he worked very well with a veteran. Push him.
We'll see if he gets pushed. Only time will tell. But before we get out of here, we're running a little low on time for this week. But before we get out of here, I want to send my best wishes and condolences to the family of Val Kilmer, very
Oh,
famous actor. I know you're a big fan of his. He passed away this past Tuesday.
yeah.
We know he's been sick and dealing with health problems for the last few years,
Mm-hmm.
including the fact that when he had that one scene in Top Gun Maverick, he couldn't even talk. Although it was a good scene, the scene they used him for,
Oh,
it was noticeable that he couldn't talk the
yeah.
entire time. And unfortunately, those health problems seem to have caught up to him, and he is no longer with us.
Um, I was watching a little short little segment on Good Morning Football on NFL Network, and he was talking about how important Val Kilmer as an actor was to him. Um, Pretty much grown up, he pretty much made it clear. Val Kilmer didn't have to be those actors where I have to just steal the show, like like in a game where, or I have to be the quarterback or the leader. You could be the second actor or whoever. You don't have to be the leading actor. You could be like the second or third actor and still dominate your role,
Of
whatever character
course.
that you in. And it's been well documented. Whether if you're a fan of him and Batman Forever, like how I am, or Tombstone, or Top Gun, or the movie Heat. Hell, he even did a great job in The Prince of Egypt. If you guys ever seen that movie, I highly recommend to watch it. He knows how to fit in that role and just dominate, and um, just a very well-rounded actor. I was just watching Tombstone earlier today, and I forgot how good that movie was. Like, oh my god! Like I look back at that movie, Val Kilmer should have won an Oscar for that role, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Very good movie. He did very well with that role in that movie. Very well.
I haven't watched it in a while. I'm definitely going to watch it sometime this weekend.
Yeah, watch it. I forgot how good that movie was, but and look, when I think about Val Kilmer, I think about Top Gun, but the very first movie that I think about is Batman Forever because how much that movie meant to me as a kid, as a childhood. And I don't care what anybody has to say. Oh, it's not good. I don't care. It is mixed. I get it, but I love that movie till this day. After 30 years, I still love this movie. And that's the first thing that I think about when I hear Val Kilmer. I think about Batman Forever. He is not compared to a Michael Keaton or Christian Bell, but he was a little bit of an underrated good Batman. He still did well with it. And it is sad that he is gone with all the health issues that he went through. And that scene in Top Gun Maverick was very, oh my God, that was a very, emotional scene in that movie. But yeah, Val Kilmer will be missed, and he is a damn good actor. Very, very damn good actor, man.
Yeah, he had a great resume. He put on some great performances. Probably the one that stands out to me the most because I probably like the movie the most is Heat.
Yeah,
I think he definitely added a lot to that movie, even with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino being the two main characters. I think he
exactly.
definitely still added to it too.
Yeah,
And yeah, Batman Forever, I'm not personally the biggest fan of, but I do obviously remember him from that. And he wasn't a bad Batman by any stretch. It was just like maybe the presentation of the movie that was my issue. Yeah, he was a pretty good Batman in that sense, Bruce Wayne for that matter. And yeah, especially in the Top Guns, especially that first one with like him and Tom Cruise having that kind of like rivalry throughout the movie, but then they become cool towards the end. Yeah, he's been in a lot of memorable movies, a lot of major roles, and yeah, it's unfortunate that he was taken from us so soon and that he's gone
yeah.
as soon as he is.
He's only
But
65. He's only
yeah,
65.
yeah, but it looks like he lived a full life and lived a life worth remembering. And for
Yeah.
that, he definitely deserves to be talked about on the show. And I know we didn't know him personally, but from a movie perspective, from a performance perspective, from
You know him. Yeah,
us movie fans, he will be missed.
definitely. And it's funny how you mentioned those big names that he was in movies with, but yet he still like look the
Held
character
his
that he
own.
did. He still held his own. We're like we talk about Heat, we talk about Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, but like at the same time, like dude, Val Kilmer did a good job. Or in Top Gun, yeah, Tom Cruise is the leading actor, but wow, Val Kilmer as Iceman in that role, like whoa, like he did a good job too. You know what I mean? So that's the type of
Mhm.
actor that he was. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong. You don't have to be. Look, bottom line is you don't have to be the leading actor to be a good actor.
Hell no, you don't. There's
Oh,
been plenty of movie I've seen where the person who was a supporting actor, supporting character in the movie was the more standout part of the movie. Look
yeah,
at Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, prime example.
yeah. Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger is the Joker in, yeah, Dark Knight. Also, Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost, another example from a female
Oh,
side. Yeah, it was creepy. I was staying in Brooklyn last week in this neighborhood called Bushwick, and the train station I was going into to like go take the train to the city. That train stop, that area where it is the exact area where the scene was where that Willie Lopez dude dies and then gets taken away by the demon ghost.
Oh my god, that was an eerie scene. Ooh.
That was creepy as hell. That scene made me always want to be a good person.
Yeah.
All right, bro. All right, so guys, we're running out of time. It's been great chatting it up with you guys. And next week will be our special wrestling review rewind episode about WrestleMania 21. The anniversary
Oh,
of that show is actually
it's
today.
today. And guess what I have right beside me, Kurt?
What do you have beside you? Oh shit, the original DVD.
That I still have to this day.
Do you even
After
still have a
20
DVD
years.
player?
I'm sorry?
Do you even
I
still have
guess,
a DVD player?
yeah, I have my Xbox.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching the original one with the original music. I
I
don't like
don't
how
do
they edited out
look, I'm
the.
not look, guys, I'm not um like everybody else where like, oh, I have to stream everything to watch stuff. Like, no, I still have a collection of physical DVDs that I still want to watch where I don't have to pay in order to stream stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not like that. It's like there's certain movies where I was like, well, damn, I gotta pay just so in order to watch this on streaming, where I could just, if I like the movie that damn much, I'm gonna buy the damn thing. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But yes, we
Yeah.
will be talking about that very famous and very memorable show next week on
Oh, I
our
can't
wrestling review rewind episode. I'm looking forward to that.
can't
And
believe we're
yes,
still here.
guys, yeah, neither can I. Yeah, but guys, follow us on our social media pages, our Instagram, our X page, Facebook page, etc. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have plenty of video and audio versions of this show available on there, including some other different content that will be coming up in the months to come. And for John Randall, this is Conscious Kurt with another edition of Clash of Champions. Take care, enjoy your weekend, and remember, don't be an asshole in real life or social media because that toxic bullshit is for the birds.
And as I always say to my guests, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, stay blessed, and always stay adventurous.
Have a good one, guys.